Yes, welcome. Good evening, everybody. Welcome to the third day of our live session on World Breastfeeding Week 2025.
Hello.
Hello?
Hello. Okay, I think. Hello.
Sorry, guys. Sorry. I think I lost connection there. So, welcome to our live section, the third day of our. And I have three of us here in the studio. I have and Peace with us yet again. She was here yesterday and she's here today. Please say hi to our followers.
Good evening, everyone. You're welcome to today's edition.
Yes, welcome. Thank you so much for coming. We are glad you're here with us. And we
Thank
have
you.
another dietitian. Okay, I forgot to mention Peace is actually the founder of Nutrition and they are doing wonderful work on Instagram and it's something you would love to join. Peachy at Peachy, you can join them. And so we have our second guest and colleague of ours, an expert also in nutrition. Her name is Dietitian Okuchechi. Please say hi to our followers.
Hello, everybody. I'm happy
Yeah,
to be
well,
here. Thank you for having me.
you're welcome. You're welcome. So, without much ado, I like us to get into the questions. But before then, I want to really appreciate you guys for coming. I know with your tight schedule, daily schedule, you find out time to be here. Really appreciate. All right, I want to start with dietitian Chichi. You're yet to go through. Okay, I know that some people have spoken to before now.
Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Can you hear me?
Okay,
We
I
didn't
can
hear
hear you
you
now.
clearly. Okay.
It wasn't clear when you were talking.
I said, what are your thoughts about breastfeeding? Are you skeptical about going or having now that you get to as a young person, a young lady?
Well, my thoughts on exclusive breastfeeding. Yeah, I see breastfeeding as the first real gift that any mother can give her child. It's a gift of life. I like to call it a gift of life. And imagine having the ability to meet your child's nutritional, cognitive, immunological, and even bonding needs at the same time. And the best part is that it has no extra cost to you. It is not it doesn't take a toll on your finances. It's safe, it is clean, it's healthy, and it's not only beneficial to the child, but it's also beneficial to the mother. So I see it as a win-win process. And on being scared about going into exclusive breastfeeding, maybe this is due to like the privilege of my professional background that has helped me to know that the advantages outweigh whatever perceived demerits that may be associated with it. Notice I use the word perceived demerits because the demerits also are kind of subjective. But I believe that with the right amount of support from people around you or from your spouse, I believe that the process can be more adventurous and less cumbersome. Thank
Okay,
you.
okay, okay. You're welcome. Thank you for answering that question. I've met a couple of ladies and they are scared, especially when they see breastfeeding mothers going through the stress of maybe their baby disturbing while in the bus or while on the
Yes.
so they seem scared about it. That was why I asked that question. So that
Yes.
I'd like to know there are preparations, like you said yesterday, mothers need to prepare themselves mentally and then otherwise. I would like to know what are some of those preparations that mothers need to, you know, get themselves ready with before that breastfeeding sets in.
Okay, I would also want to say again that breast is best and mother nature is no fool. So breast milk is what every baby needs for optimal nutrition. Then in order for a woman to prepare, an expectant mom to prepare in order to breastfeed very well, first she has to make up her mind that she's going to do it, because that will give you a strong feeling that you are going to achieve that goal. Secondly, also
Yes.
going to talk over with your partner or your spouse concerning the situation or how you will be helped. If you're going to stay alone, you have to seek support, maybe from your parents or from relatives. If your husband is going to be around, there are some responsibilities you can share. Okay, hobby, what time will you be available? Will you be able to feed the baby while I'm sleeping? At this time, please, can you help me cook? Even if he's not the cooking type, that there are some rules, or will I say some roles in the house that you can actually tell him to help you and aid you. And in that way, you are cutting down stress. And you're also knowing that in the future, you will be able to breastfeed your baby successfully. Then nutrition wise, you also have to know that adequate nutrition is very optimal. You have to develop a good relationship with food. Food
Okay.
is something that we have to eat and eat it right. You won't be monotonous, as we said earlier, we said yesterday. You have to diversify your diet. You should have your whole grains, you should have your food, you should have things that are close to nature that you will eat. Don't just go on processed food, don't go on packaged foods. There are lots of, nature has blessed us with so many food, abundance of food, especially in Nigeria. There is, all food groups can be seen all around us. It's just that, is it affordable? But there are other substitute alternatives that can actually go for. So with all this preparation and taking lots of fruits and vegetables, taking your fluid, that is water, ensuring that you take water on daily basis and adequately, it can also prepare you for good breastfeeding when the time comes.
Okay. I remember something now. Thank you so much for that answer. I remember something now. There were preparations with respect to the breasts. Okay, that
Okay.
I don't
Okay,
know.
that's the nursing care aspect, where you have to, the breast, the areola produces, will I say, oil, essential oils. So at some point they get dried up and you see this droplet on the skin sometimes. Then for some people, they tend to produce breast milk earlier, maybe during second trimester or third trimester. So this colostrum gets hardened up in the nipple and it has to be cleaned. If not, your baby has to do a lot of hard work rubbing through it before the actual milk starts flowing freely. So each time you wake up in the morning and in the evening, just take a soft towel or a clean hanky, dump it in a warm water, and then just rub it through your nipple. There's no need to use soap. It's just to clear out the pores, so that when the time for lactation comes, your milk will come out freely. There's no excuse that there is no breast milk or you're not producing enough at that point.
Okay, okay, okay. Now I want to ask a follow-up question to this. Okay, what if a mother gives birth now and the breast? Okay, let me run down what you said. First of all, support from the family needs to be taken care of.
Yes,
And the nutrition aspect, you need to see food as a friend when you eat it
yes,
healthy. And then you talked about cleaning up the breast to
the
make it
breast.
okay. Now I want to do a follow-up question on that. What if a mother gives birth and the breast did not start flowing at that point? what do you advise that mother to do at that particular point?
Okay, there are different factors that can actually trigger the milk letdown. When you have actually considered some problems and you've outruled the hormonal problems, which may be the topmost on the list, the mother can consider giving a formula at that instance,
Yeah.
pending when the breast starts flowing properly. But if you know that the breast milk is coming out and it's just maybe because of fear or anxiety, there is no need to panic. Just relax, it will calm down. But when these other essential factors have been ruled out and you've checked the volume of the milk that is coming out, maybe probably for 6 hours or to a day and nothing is coming out, just start with formula. Then when the breast milk starts coming down fully, continue and
Okay.
and forfeit every other substitute or alternative, just breast milk.
Okay. So, dietitian Uche, from
Yes.
experience as a professional, what would you say is the major challenge for mothers in embarking on an exclusive breastfeeding?
What's the most challenging? What?
What are some of the challenges that they keep mentioning, like repeatedly, okay,
Okay.
as some of their
Okay.
challenges? Yeah.
Okay, that's a great question. One of the requirements for exclusive breastfeeding is feeding on demand. And from experience so far, this is the part where mothers have a lot of difficulties. And I would like to also add that this issue is also subjective, and I'll explain why I said it's subjective. Some mothers, let's take a look at three scenarios. Some mothers can carry on for, as in practice, exclusive breastfeeding for the first 3 months. But as soon as they're back to work, it becomes very cumbersome or difficult to continue. Some mothers are naturally busy women due to the nature of their business, probably they are self-employed and they cannot feed on demand. Then there are some other mothers that are stay-home moms, stay-at-home moms, and still they still have one reason or the other that they'll say, "Oh, I can't feed on demand." So you see that these three different kinds of mothers, the solution to them is to find something that they can fit into their lifestyle. But in general, I want to believe that once there is a will, there is a way. And like that Champis also said that when you've made up your mind and when you're truly determined that you're going to do something, you're going to carry out with this thing that you've told yourself that you're going to do, every other thing will just naturally fall into place. Like our theme this year said, breastfeeding is a shared responsibility. It means that this exclusive breastfeeding is not just the responsibility of the mother alone, but it's the responsibility of every individual that comes in contact with that mother and the child, whether it's in the market, in school, at home, in the bus, at work, anywhere. Every environment should be a baby friendly environment so that we're able to support mothers on this feeding on demand, because that's the major issue I've heard from a lot of mothers from my
Okay.
practice. Thank you.
Okay. I would like to know when or when should a mother initiate breastfeeding? Dietitian Chuchechi, that's a serious question. I'm still with you. When should a mother initiate breastfeeding?
To initiate breastfeeding, yes, according to the World Health Organization, breastfeeding should be initiated within the first hour of birth. Once the mother gives birth, you should initiate breastfeeding within the first hour. So, if I'm to put it in a very simple term, it means that if probably, for example, you give birth around 2 in the afternoon, it means that before 3 o'clock, you should have initiated breastfeeding, allow the baby to suckle on the breast, should have initiated it within that first hour. So yes, that's the recommended time.
Okay. Now, according to our team this year, it's protect breastfeeding, a shared responsibility. Dietitian Peace, I would like to know who are those involved, apart from the mother, okay? who are those involved to support, to make sure that breastfeeding is done as at when and
Okay, breastfeeding is a shared responsibility because the support system is so broad, is vast, right from the hospital to the home. It has a multifactorial and a large team of people that will assist the mother. Let's start from the hospital. The medical team, the nurses and midwives that have just delivered the baby has every right and is a shared responsibility. In fact, it's a shared nursing that they have to help the woman and put her baby to her breast. I remember the time I gave birth to my first baby. You know, first time moms, the cut is always something else. And my baby was actually head down, but he appeared in a way that, you know, that this boy has been so active. His hand was on his head. So because of that, there was a type of cut they gave me. It was so painful. I couldn't even sit for days. So most of the positions were just lying down and breastfeeding. The nurses did their own part by helping me attach the baby properly, you know, trying to hold the baby's head, trying to grip the baby and put the baby to my breast to latch well. All those things are their own kind of support. So from the hospital, the nurses are there to do their job, the midwives are there. And another advantage of that early suckling, as Daishan Uchechi pointed out, it helps to stop postpartum hemorrhage. A lot of people have died after giving birth because of bleeding. People bleed to death. Congratulations. Before you know it, is another story altogether. So that attachment, that proper latching is very essential because as the baby is sucking and the sucking is actually coming out and the baby, the let down is coming out. There is this uterus contraction, we call it involution. So as the womb is contracting, it helps to prevent bleeding and that postpartum hemorrhage. So at that point in time, the medical team is actually should be very supportive in helping the mother. Then back at home, you have your mother. In Igbo land, we call it omogwo. They're there to assist in cooking, in doing so many things. Because when you give birth, they don't expect you to bend down and do so many things because you may be dizzy, you may be fatigued. It's not easy pulling out a baby from a woman's body. Once a baby comes out, you just see that your stomach or whatever thing that is in you is as if you are empty. There is this collapse that happens. So for the first few weeks after birth, you really have to take care of yourself, rest and sleep. So your mother, your relatives or any friend you have should be there to support with the house chores. Your husband also has a responsibility, or a partner, or I don't know, a spouse that is available should be able to help to put the baby to sleep, rock the baby, sing. You know, at that point everybody learns how to sing the lullaby and all that. So it's the person's responsibility to do that. Then when we come to the society at large, we have governmental organizations, non-governmental organizations. Like Shechi pointed out, baby-friendly centers. They have to encourage them, put everything essential for them in order to encourage the woman and create an enabling environment. Because if the environment is not enabling, the woman may feel embarrassed. Someone can even come and abuse her that say you're opening your breast. So everybody has something to play, a role to play in this in breastfeeding to ensure that it's successful.
oh, that's great. That was great. And there was a thought that came to me. Uh, that was earlier this week. I see how people socially sympathize women who are probably breastfeeding their babies in the public, and it feels so painful because they don't know what these women are
Actually, they don't.
having a baby and the baby is crying, and you're telling the mother to wait until he gets to a closet before she can breastfeed.
Breastfeed.
They really don't understand a whole lot of stress they go with that baby and seeing the baby cry, and then they have a breast that they need to keep the baby. You're telling her get home first, that this is a nice son. But anyway, there is something we are working on something about that. Okay, that Shanuche, I don't know. Are there things you feel that the society itself they need to do probably to support the mothers, with respect to breastfeeding? Just like she said, she mentioned the hospital, the medical practitioners or the health practitioners, and then the those at home, those back, and then those that are around the society? Are there ways that we can enlighten these people more? Because people tend to stigmatize women that are breastfeeding, especially in the public. What do you think about it? Just your personal opinion, probably not a professional opinion. You're muted. I think you're muted.
Sorry. Okay, sorry. I didn't know. I forgot I muted it. I love the theme of this year's breastfeeding week is the shared responsibility, and I really wish that everybody would have that in mind. The society, everybody at large, every, like I said before, every environment should be a baby friendly environment. We can, and the only way we can instill this into the society, if I'm not speaking professionally or anyway, the only way we can instill it is to first of all us ourselves be an example. Anywhere you see somebody that is breastfeeding, or you see that the mother is maybe feeling ashamed to breastfeed the child, show some encouragement. If there's anything that you can do to help, if you can even help her maybe pacify the child a little and let her organize herself, because there are sometimes when I've seen some mothers, their baby is crying and all that, you know that the baby needs attention or the baby needs to feed, but they themselves are looking so disorganized that they can't even put themselves together. Instead of looking past and say, oh, this woman can't even organize herself, you don't know what she's going through. So you yourself, we as individuals, the change begins with us. We should be the change that we want to see. We should be that example. Anywhere you see anybody that obviously needs support, support that person. And then I think that from there, it will be imbibed into our society. That's the least we can do as individuals.
Each of
Hello,
us,
Hello.
hello. We can't hear you clearly.
wow,
Your
can you
voice
hear me?
is low.
Can you hear?
Yes, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Okay, I can hear you now.
Yes, yes, I can hear you now.
I said there's a controversial one right now. Okay? It trended towards and people all over your thoughts on
I
this.
can't still hear. Can you come again? I didn't get the question.
Okay.
Please come
Can you
again.
hear, can you hear me well now?
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'm saying that there's a controversial one on breast sagging. Okay, the sagging of breast. And many people out there believe that breastfeeding aids breast sagging. So I want to know your thoughts on this particular one. Each of you will tell me what you think about this one. I will start with you, please.
I would say that breast sagging is more of a natural factor. Actually, when I saw the trend, as a scientist, I had to go and check the research papers, what they're actually saying. And I found out that it's not actually breastfeeding that causes breast to sag. Is more or less like a natural phenomenon. We have law of gravity. At the end of the day, something has to come down. So once law of gravity sets in, then with aging, it facilitates the process. Breastfeeding doesn't have to, it doesn't suck. It's much more than breastfeeding. The pregnancy hormones, I think they were also contributory factors to that, because during pregnancy, the breast tends to store up fats. So when you are breastfeeding, the fat will be lost, but those losing of fat is not actually what would have caused the breast to sag. It's just those effects, those hormonal will I say interactions that happen during pregnancy, and not actually breastfeeding. And it shouldn't discourage you, because you can also feed a baby with expressed milk. It's not necessarily the baby has to suckle. So I don't see any reason why you shouldn't feed, because usually your breast should sag. It's a natural thing, natural aging, pregnancy hormones, and much other factors.
Okay. Richard, do you have anything to add?
Yes. On this issue of some mothers complaining that they don't want to breastfeed because the breast is going to sag. I was also reading a paper. That's why I was really concurring with her. I wanted to like find out if there's any scientific relationship between breastfeeding and sagging, and there wasn't any. I found, like she said, it was actually the changes that happen in pregnancy. That's what causes the difference between the breast size. And the breast is actually not even made up of, there's no muscle there. It's made up of only fats, mammary glands, and connective tissues that are usually called Cooper's ligament. So if you say that you don't want to breastfeed because you don't want your breast to sag, it is not the breastfeeding that causes it, it's the pregnancy. So you're having, whichever mother is thinking about that, the person is having misplaced priorities. Actually, it's not the breastfeeding that
Yes.
is causing the sagging, it's the pregnancy in the first place that's causing the sagging. And like she said, there are different things that can affect it, both aging, both
Love,
maybe
gravity,
running or doing some kind
everything.
of hefty activities, jumping, full of gravity, without a very good supportive bra. And besides, there are a lot of people that don't wear their correct size of bra. There's a way to like check and measure
That's
yourself so you know that you are wearing the correct size and the correct cup. So things like this can contribute to breast sagging and not and not breastfeeding. Please give the baby what the baby needs.
wow. These are evidence-based responses, and I would like our viewers, our followers, to share this video because we want it to get to as many people as possible. Because many people are even health professionals. I'm telling you, I listened to a nurse said this thing somewhere, and I had to correct the nurse myself. The nurse was like, um, that lady on Big Brother, that it must have been that she has given birth many times, and her baby has suckled her breast and all that. So I was like, this is not what it is. It has no relation. Just that it's a natural thing that happened. There might
Yes.
be other scientific factors that might have led to that, but it has nothing to do with breastfeeding. Okay, so thank you so much for establishing that fact. I've had really a rough time over that matter. And then we, in Future Life, decided to write a book, and the reason we did it was that we discovered some mothers don't really know what to do, going into breastfeeding. And I have a friend that is currently breastfeeding now, and she was asking me certain questions. Okay. And we decided to, instead of just meeting mothers one after the other, okay, let's put up a book, to commemorate this year's World Breastfeeding Week. I don't know. Do you think this book is something some mothers need as a professional, from your own professional perspective? Do you think this is what some mothers will need in their journey or in preparation to their journey? Because it has to do with breastfeeding and complementary feeding. We only went ahead to give them some ways of how they can prepare some of the our staples as complementary foods. So do you think it's what mothers would appreciate? Like champis.
Okay, you people have done so much, and I have to commend your works and your abilities in encouraging mothers and seeing that women develop a good eating habit, most especially during pregnancy and lactation. The book will also be another form of support system because you know that so many things are going virtual now, and some people, due to the pandemic, cannot just have access to the basic healthcare they need. And even the healthcare, when it's needed, it can be quite expensive to even get to the right practitioner that will help them. So I think the book will go a long way in helping the mothers get ready and put away fear, which can hinder the milk production and maybe prevent them or discourage them from exclusively breastfeeding and continue breastfeeding after 6 months. It's a good one.
Okay. Then Shanice, do you have anything to say? You're muted.
Okay, you're muted.
Okay, I see she has said it all actually. The book is actually a very good initiative. It's a very good one. Like I said, especially first time mothers, they need all the support that they can get, all the support. And there's something very soothing when you're getting information about something from the right healthcare professional, not just from anybody, but you're getting it from the right healthcare professional. You're sure that okay, this person is an expert in this field. So whatever this person should say is saying, I can take it to the bank. So it's a very good one. It's a very good one. I commend Nutrition Life and I commend you guys for all.
Thank you so much. We are really very grateful. We are really very grateful. And then finally, we also went ahead because um, we did some research, discovered that there are some countries that have breastfeeding support groups. Okay? So we on Facebook and we did research. We discovered that UK, Singapore had, India had, some of these countries, even US. So we wanted to create a platform where mothers will converge, okay, and support each other because some of them that have been through the experience, they have more knowledge than others that are coming up, and those that are, preparing, not they are not married yet, probably, but to exchange on how they can go through the ladder. So I don't know, is this something that you feel in this climb? I know that knowledge is not so appreciated in this climb, but we still have to do what is necessary. But is this something you feel will also help, apart from the book, which we will sell to give knowledge, but this is a group, is a free group, is going to be for only ladies, only ladies. So is this something you think that women will appreciate?
Okay, yes, I think the support group is needed. If you can see, while serving in the facility where I served, we had support groups for HIV and AIDS patients. It really helped them. And the people that pioneered this support group were people that are tuberculosis positive and HIV positive and are living and healthy. So these people were able to facilitate the progress of this group by sharing their experiences, telling them the right medication or where to get the adequate medication and care that is needed, encouraging them mentally. When you have this kind of chronic terminal disease, it can be very stressing mentally and otherwise. So these people form the support group that even when you see someone that is HIV positive, you can never believe that the person is HIV positive. So I think that this support group, having the expertise of experienced mothers professionals, it will go a long way to encourage most especially first time mothers to get ready for this role.
Okay, that Chanuche, any thoughts? You're muted.
Sorry, I'm kind of in the office. So sorry, when you were talking, I didn't get you. Is the group going to be virtual or is it a physical group?
No, it's a virtual group. It's going to be a Facebook group
Okay,
for people.
better. Yes, even better, even better.
Yes, we're bringing
Yes,
professionals time and then
yes. Yes, even better. I wanted to clarify that because if the group is virtual, if it's online, I feel like you're going to reach more people because these days people want it's easy to access people when you can get them right in their homes, right in the comfort of their bedrooms, right in the comfort of wherever it is that they are. So if it's virtual, yes, it's a win-win. And like that Shampi said, support groups have always been the best in handling anything, whatever thing. When you see somebody that both of you are going through the same thing at that same time, or whatever the case may be, but you see people like you, it helps to people share experiences and it's collective learning. focus group and all that. So it's a wonderful initiative, and I know that it's going to really hit the purpose for which it was created for. It's a nice one.
Thank you so, so much. I really want to thank you for all the supports that platform that will still have put on this studio for some other reason, maybe beyond breastfeeding. And we want to thank you. We want to really appreciate you. And we want to
Thank
thank our
you.
World Breastfeeding Week continues after today. This is not the final live section we're having, but beyond the live section, we have posts, we have videos and write-ups on this platform. And we'd like you to follow us, share our videos, share our content. They are basically just to educate you and for you to help us reach out to those of them that are not on this platform. Okay, so help us reach out to as many as we can, and we promise to continue to do this. Okay, on Friday we'll be launching the Breast to Plate. That's the book. That's the title of our book, Breast to Plate. And on that same day, we'll be launching that group. The name of the group is Breastfeeding Africa Support Group. It's going to be launched live on Friday, and will be probably one of them will come and help us with some of the discussions we'll be having that day. But we are yet to decide on that. Okay, so please help us share the post and the book. If you've not gotten it, there's a link before this post. There's a link before this post. You can indicate your interest and make your pre-order. Pre-order price is 2,000 naira, and then the launching price is 4,000 naira. So you have a 50% discount if you pre-order now. If you pre-order now, you have a 50% discount. So make sure that you do your pre-order. I want to appreciate every one of us for coming. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Thank
And I
you.
Thank you very much for having us.
do this
Thank
some
you.
other time. For many reasons, you are our best professionals for now. Okay, so we really appreciate it. Thank you so much. All right,
Thank you,
so
Nutrition Life. Thank you. Thank you, viewers.
we want to say thank you guys for coming. And if you're watching this as a replay, enjoy it and keep sharing it. Thank you. God bless you.
Thank you very